think I'm muted. Can y'all hear me now? Because I think I was muted. Anyway, I'm back to talk about this whole situation with this Tasha K interview with Rocky Bivens' alleged mistress, Latocha Scott's husband. Y'all, that whole interview, in a nutshell, to me was, in one word, I could say despicable. It was, Rocky is very, in my opinion, very manipulative. I don't know how these women even let him get his hooks into them, but y'all, we're going to talk about it. Let's just get into it, shall we?
Can't ball in a life, man. Go on with it, go on with it. Do us. So we are coming with a force. Yeah. Blessing the reap and we coursing on.
Now, y'all, this whole interview was very cringeworthy for me. It was very cringy because knowing his background with R. Kelly and all this other stuff that he's really got his hooks into, this man just is very manipulative. Like, Tasha did a phone call with him, literally, I believe, after the interview was over. And he was just basically the entire time trying to, in my opinion, manipulate Tasha K into not putting the interview up in the first place. He's very, very, very cringeworthy, manipulative, and anybody that is dealing with him needs to go. He even went as far as to compare himself to Olivia Pope. Okay, but we're gonna get into Rocky and his foolishness. Now, what I would say about the whole interview in a nutshell with the lady Unique that is saying that she's his mistress. One thing that Rocky said when he was talking to Tasha K, and I also wonder myself, is why? Why even come out and talk about this? I don't think that Tasha K spent enough time asking her that literal question. Like, what? Why now? Why come out now? Why not just leave him alone? Because she kept saying, he just pissed me off. He pissed me off so much. She kept saying that throughout the interview, but I'm like, if he pissed you off so much, why not just cut ties and leave him alone? Why air him out? And I really would have liked to get more context out of that. Okay. So anyway, the interview starts off with Unique saying she was pissed off with Tasha for doubting her relationship with Rocky and their, alleged baby, if you will. And Tasha discusses her coming out, to her actually coming out with all this information, Unique rather, right after the whole dress situation with Latocha. She's like, okay, well, I get it. You're pissed off at me, but it seems rather, unique, if you will, that you came out with all this information once this whole dress situation came out. Was this all about publicity or trying to get attention, whatever? And so she just kept talking about being pissed off. She never really, like I said, elaborated on why she actually came out, and really just brought this out to the forefront, talking about this man. Okay. So then she says she kept talking about, just kept talking about Tasha going off for her. And I'm like, girl, listen, get over it. If Tasha, let me tell y'all something. I feel like Tasha K was doing all of that in the blogs so that she can get this interview. Homegirl has not been doing this for so many years because she's dumb. Okay. Well, she does do some dumb things. That's why her ass owed $4 million to Cardi B, but I ain't about to go into that. But yeah, she's not dumb. Tasha went down to Atlanta to interview somebody else. That didn't go through. So she goes and does all this shenanigans online so that this girl can, because obviously this girl is doing this for attention. Okay. She is a, music artist. I looked at her page. I should have took a screenshot. The other day, she only had like 1,000 followers on Instagram or something like that. Now she's over 100K. She's obviously getting publicity and getting some attention from all of this stuff that's going on with Rocky and Latocha, with the show being out here, the spotlight being put on the group Escape right now. Obviously, this is garnering her some attention. So she's capitalizing off of it, really. And that is what it is. So her being pressed to get an apology from Tasha K, what's it to you? Like, who cares about what Tasha K says, honestly? Like, she always bumping her gums and large tic tac teeth, talking about somebody or something. Who cares? You just were the topic of the day. So you let her get under your skin so much that now you on here airing this guy out. Okay, whatever. So she says she's very fertile, so that's how she ended up getting pregnant 3 times by the man. And Tasha asked her, if you don't mind, how old are you? So she says, well, I'm in my 30s. So if y'all notice, I was paying attention when Tasha was scrolling through all of those text messages. Apparently, homegirl is 36 and she'll probably be 37 this year because he said happy 36th birthday. Yeah, I remember. I remember seeing that in one of the text messages, if I'm not mistaken. So she's in her late 30s at that. So she was really trying to be coy about how old she was. But I'm like, girl, who cares? But clearly, homegirl is fertile myrtle. Okay. So then Tasha K decides to shade her with all of the filters that she uses online. Okay. And then again, she starts to apologize for going in on her on the internet, which I feel like that was just, again, I just felt like that was just worthless to talk about. Why are we keep on talking about you going in on her on the internet and not believing her? Because Tasha K said in the beginning, oh, this is fake news. I don't think that she's really, he really messed with this girl, whatever. Who cares what Tasha K thinks? Moving on. So to go back into the dress situation, she posted the sonogram around the time that Latasha Scott came out trying to make them look like she was Gladys Knight in the Pips, wearing a different outfit from Escape, which is like, girl, please stop. Like, you're just doing too much to try to get attention. Latasha Scott has been all over the internet trying to, in my opinion, cover all this stuff up with her husband. She want to talk about Candy. She want to talk about her sister and her mama. She want to talk about everything else but what's going on with this situation with this alleged mistress. Okay. She don't want to talk about her own stuff. And of course, you going out here singing gospel songs. This don't make you look too godly, sis. Okay. And we all know, listen, in my opinion, the whole Christian community and whatnot, they probably the most judgmental people there is out there. So it's clearly something that Latasha is doing on her side to try to get the attention and the light, if you will, off of this whole situation. And Tasha K came out here trying to do this interview with Homegirl because she's trying to get her views up. She's trying to get her views up. Lord knows she needs an extra coin or two because sis been talking about selling her cars and all this, that, and the third. She trying to get the coins running in because she owes sis that $4 million. Okay, and that's that on that. Let's get to the comments. Ebony M says, hello, everyone. What's up? What's up? J Rose says, hi. What up, J Rose? How you bees? Ebony M says, I think it's strategy. When Tasha says one thing and then changes her mind, I don't get the purpose of the strategy. But she does it sometimes, even with Bishop Whitehead. Yeah, like she never stays on topic. I don't really see her staying on topic a lot when she's doing these interviews. You know what? YouTube is really getting on my nerves. Side note, because it says 0 people are watching, but clearly Ebony M just commented. So somebody watching. Somebody watching. YouTube, stop playing with me. How many people really watching this video? But moving on. Thank you for your comment, Ebony M. So they talk about the first pregnancy. So apparently homegirl got pregnant a total of 3 times. Okay. She got pregnant the first time, July 15th of, hold on, would have been 5 years. No, I'm sorry. July 15th of this year would have been 5 years of them on and off being together. Or she said it was nonstop, but it would have been 5 years of them allegedly messing with each other. She said she was pregnant at the time when she posted the whole situation with the sonogram after Tasha came out with the green dress. Okay. She said she was Tasha K asked about a pic of Candy and if Candy was paying her to actually come out with this information. Mind you, let me tell y'all something. Candy Burris turns everything into a money tree, but I think homegirl is stingy with her coins. She not about to be out here paying some mistress to say something about Rocky. I don't even think, honestly, Candy cares enough about this situation to be paying her to come and take a picture. I really don't. Now, mind you, while Candy is very philanthropic, I don't think homegirl gonna waste her money in the worst way like this. That's just my opinion. So she did admit in the interview. Unique said, "No, I don't know anything about. I don't know Candy. I just took a picture with her because she was at a bedroom Candy event, and they just took a picture. That's it, and that's all." So then Tasha K asked if Rocky ever slept over at Unique's house. She kind of danced around it and basically said no. She was like, no, they never, he never spent the night over there, which he's married. Of course, he's not going to be able to spend the night over your house without Latasha calling him or trying to figure out where he's at. And she's his meal ticket. So, of course, he going to always stay on the radar with her. So that wouldn't look good for him to be spending the night over your house and be undetected. Okay. So then she talks about how they were supposed to get a house together and move together. And she was okay with him trying to make moves for him and her, Rocky and Unique, that is. Him trying to make moves for their newfound relationship. Okay. Since all his money was tied into Latasha. I'm like, girl, let me tell y'all something, okay? This is why mistresses from the old days stayed silent. Silent, okay? Because you're never going to be in the forefront. Never. If you think that this man is actually going to leave his wife, which as he said is his meal ticket, to be with you, somebody that y'all have exchanged cash apps and all this and the third. Mind you, by the way, you were sending him money too. So, Brokey, what is he doing asking you for money? What's going on with that? And you kept talking about how, oh, he he said he was going to help me out. Who wouldn't want help? Who wouldn't want help? It don't seem like he helping you. It seemed like you was helping him. Mm-hmm. This whole situation was just very tricky to me. I think Tasha and Mel both have shady reputations. Who's Mel? Are you talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, Mel? I don't know how she would have anything to do with this, but I don't know. But Tasha K definitely has a shady reputation for sure. Ebony M says, I don't think that Candy will pay a mistress either. Hell no. Candy is not wasting her money like that. Okay. Yasmin says, not tied into Latasha. Ma'am, you mean his wife. Exactly. His wife. Period. For 28 years, that is. Yasmin says, Unique is the most embarrassing mistress ever. She really is. Like, actually, I don't know. Ariana Curry might still be taking that title because she continues to look stupid. But also, this woman doesn't seem to have any remorse because men always come out that are married, always want to, that's cheating, say that, you know what? I was unhappy at home and, this, that, and the third. And, she was just making me so unhappy. So that's why I'm here. If somebody is making you that unhappy, leave. Leave the scene of the crime. I don't understand men that try to go out here and be with all these other women and you knowingly, let me tell y'all something. And we just gonna move on from here. In this day and age of social media, okay, you are going to get found out, sir. It's not if, it's when. Okay, period. It's not if, it's when. So, men, if you don't want to be monogamous, be single. Go out here and sow your royal oats as much as you would like. Don't get married and commit yourself to somebody and you out here frolicking in the land of Pussy. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Okay? Leave the life of monogamy alone if it is not for you. And this man, we're going to get into all of the stuff that he says that he's into. And, he like the Olivia Pope and all this, that, and the third. And, if he can do all these amazing things, why is Latasha Scott still very mediocre? I don't get it. I don't get it. J. Rose says, sorry. What you sorry for, J. Rose? Oh, they're commenting about Mel. I just didn't understand what it was. I didn't know if it was what you were talking about. So don't be sorry. We talking here. I got you. Ebony M says, I agree. Don't get married if you cannot actually commit. Right. Ebony M says, I think some men get married because they need the financial stability. Well, here's the thing. You ain't gonna be too financially stable if once women find out, because granted your money gonna get taken away. So while you think it's two incomes are great to tango, it's gonna be gone within the blink of a eye if you keep on playing around, because what can turn into stability can turn into broke them real quick. Okay, and once they realize that, I just feel like it is something so much more alluring and attractive about a man that can be monogamous in a relationship. When you are doing whatever you can to please one woman, that shows your ultimate masculinity to me. Somebody that's out here dicking and diving all around the town, it screams insecurity to me. You're always looking for the BBD and you never find it. You really don't. And then you lose a lot of diamonds in the rough because you out here being trifling. And is what it is. And women do it too. So, that's a whole nother story. So then they talk pregnancies. So the first pregnancy was a baby that she actually named. The baby was named Timeless. Okay. This was back in September of 2021. She gets emotional and Tasha says, oh, well, if you want to cry, we can get you a tissue. I was like, Tasha, you really don't give a damn about this lady crying. Like, she just seems so uninterested in this woman getting emotional about this baby. And she did admit that she's very fertile in the beginning. But in Tasha's conversation with Rocky, he reveals that he has allegedly, he has some type of medical issue going on where he can't actually have any more children. So I'm like, y'all do have a 25-year-old son. Did your sperm move about the vessel correctly to do that? How'd that work out? Clearly it did. So I don't know. I don't know. And you got this lady pregnant 3 times. So that's what she's saying. But anyway, the first pregnancy was September 21. He told her to basically get rid of it because he was basically trying to convince her that, oh, this is not a good idea. This isn't going to be good. Like, why would I want to have a baby and I'm not going to be living in a house with my child? Like, I want to be there to rear my child with you. I want us to be together and have a house together. Like, basically playing these mind games. And in the conversation with Tasha K, he admitted that he has a degree in psychology. But I'm like, sir, how long ago did you go to college? How long ago was that? Because this reverse psychology that you used on this chick, that wouldn't have worked on me. It wouldn't have. And my thing is, here's the bigger picture. You out here raw dogging. Like, for real. You are out here raw dogging and leaving something behind. Why are you doing that? And woman, why are you trusting this man to come and put his sausage and slide it down your tunnel of pleasure with nothing on it? I mean, I guess your judgment is already poor because you're sleeping around with a married man, but there is no way I would allow him to put his Johnson inside of me with nothing covering it up. There's absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. I don't get it. I don't get it. But anyway, she's all emotional. She didn't want to get rid of the baby, if you will. And she said he did all of these things to try to keep her from having this baby. Like, he even went as far as to call a love child, somebody that was an alleged love child, later on, alleged love child, and how their life wasn't great because they were somebody's love child and all this, that, and the third, basically playing on her emotions. And then he said to her at one point, him and Latocha could take the baby if they wanted to because they have more money than her. I'm like, so was this when you was living with her mama? I don't know if you had more money than her. But okay, moving on. So then, he even says that he called her love child, blah, blah, blah. What was the other thing he did? That was it, I think. I'll remember later on. She was scared. Oh, and then she was talking about how she was scared of how the baby would come out because she was so stressed out, because he stressed her out so much. at the beginning of this pregnancy. So I'm just like, girl, I don't know. Then he says, if you do this, we'll have so many other kids in the future and I'll take care of you and your kids. How can he take care of you and your kids and he can't even take care of himself or his wife? I don't understand. Because all of these, you know, non pregnancies, like these pregnancies that you're not allowing to come to fruition at this point, y'all know I can't say the A word on here. But you're doing all of this for this married man. Crazy. There's no way that a baby is even going to change your position. It's just not. This would just cause even more strife and grief for you. I just don't get it. Ebony M says, I think some men get married, but okay, we talked about that. Poor Tasha, she's married to a controlling idiot. Yeah, absolutely. He's very controlling and very much so an idiot because he really thought he was real smart and all of this stuff. And he is dumb as a box of rocks. Okay. Pun intended. What's funny is by trying to prove, Yasmin says, what's funny is by trying to prove Unique was lying by saying he has a medical issue, he kind of proved she was telling the truth because the miscarriage was due to an issue with the sperm. Bingo. Absolutely. He really tied into a lot of the stuff that she had already said by him trying to call and basically dumbfound Tasha K. Like he's an idiot. Ebony M says, I wouldn't date a married man either, Shay. Yeah, it's just not worth it. Because hold on, y'all. Can y'all hear me? It made me it took me out of the studio and brought me back in. Okay, here we go. So here we go. So then they talk about a song that she made. Let me know in the comments if y'all can hear me. Then they talk about a song that she has with their voice. Thank you so much, Ebony. I see you said yes. They have a song. There's a song that she made from a recording of his voice. They were talking on the phone and she put the song on YouTube. So he did whatever he could to, because apparently this was when they were having the conversations where he was trying to make her end the pregnancy, if you will. And it really bothered her. We can hear you. Okay, good. It really bothered her that he was trying to do this, and you know she was just really upset. She was distraught because she really wanted to keep her baby, and doing that is not something that she is into. Like she doesn't believe in getting rid of kids. She has 3 children of her own. Apparently she was married for 15 years before this. And I'm like, girl, did you leave your husband to be with this brokio? I hope you didn't do that. But anyway, um so she talks about how she ended up going ahead and getting it done. She was scared. She didn't, she, even though she doesn't believe in having those, she felt bad afterwards. And he said to her, he calls her after all of it was over. Once she told him that she had did it, he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. I was actually getting ready to call you to tell you don't even do it." Girl, Captain Manipulator over here. Like, really, Rocky? How convenient. Oh man, I was just about to call you and tell you don't even do it, girl. No, you wasn't. No, you wasn't. You is a liar from the pits of hell, okay? And from all the gospel songs that Latocha is about to sing, you are a liar. You're lying. You knew you wanted this girl to not have this baby. You didn't want her to have this baby. You were so glad. Probably skipping around the block saying, "Whoo, I dodged another one." And apparently there are other women that he's been sleeping and creeping with. But moving on, um, continuing on, they talk, let's just go into the other pregnancies because she kind of was very repetitive. She talked about the same things all over and over again. So let's get into her marriage. She They asked her what made her go ahead and hold on, y'all. So back to the song. So they talk about the song that she created, how he basically allegedly flagged her song on YouTube so that it could be taken down because his voice was in it. Okay, so he had it reported so that the song wouldn't be out there, basically incriminating him with his voice on it. So with the second pregnancy, it was in March. Okay, and he was sending her all these R. Kelly songs to get back with her. How rich? So, in order to get back in, they went to Vegas, and that's where the second pregnancy happened. Okay. So, you're going up in this woman bra and leaving. She's just becoming a cum dumpster to you at this point. It's just getting ridiculous. So, after they have had this amazing time in Vegas, she takes her son to Destin for his birthday. So she was like, you know what? I just don't feel right. I think I'm pregnant or whatever. And her mother told her, you're probably pregnant. Go ahead and take a pregnancy test. So she took a pregnancy test, found out that she was actually pregnant, but she started to feel bad. And so she ended up miscarrying. Okay. So this was the second pregnancy. So she talked to a doctor and she was like, I never had any issues like holding on to my children and my pregnancies. So what could have caused this? So the doctor then revealed to her that it may have been something wrong with his sperm. Okay. So that, I think Ebony said it, aligns with Rocky talking about, oh, it's something wrong with my sperm anyway. I can't really create any children, whatever the case may be. Yes, you can create them. Obviously, they're happening with this young lady, but this one specific situation, it didn't come to, it didn't happen. So she didn't tell him about that pregnancy, okay? Because he had told her, if you get pregnant again, just don't tell me. So I guess he was just off some, you know what? Don't tell me. If we have it, we have it. Or you probably are going to tell me because I've mind effed you that much, and I'll just talk you out of it when the time comes. So the third pregnancy was around August of 2022. And they didn't really dive into that too much. So I don't know what came of that, if she ended up getting rid of that one or if that was another pregnancy that just didn't go to fruition naturally. Who knows? But she kept talking about these babies like they really were around, like, and I get it. Once you carry a life in your body, you make a connection with it, or whatever it was to be. But I just feel like she had too much of a connection to something that really could never happen. Like, you would have been bringing a child into a really messy situation, honestly. So then she says, Tasha says, well, what made you do this? Like, why did you even mess with this man? Like, what gives? So she was like, Latasha and Rocky never looked like they were intimate. She said that they never looked like they were happy. He never looked like he was happy with her, but he cried in front of her, talking about Unique. He was like, yeah, this man cried in front of me. He said, I remind him of his mama. And, he even called me on the scene when his son got into a bad accident. He was FaceTiming me. I'm like, girl, he got you hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. I just don't, child, I don't know. But if you're in the chat, please, please, please comment with me. Let's talk about this. Like the video, y'all. And please subscribe to the channel. Okay. So then she goes into her 15-year relationship with her ex-husband, and that's where her 3 kids came from. And she says that she really just had, Tasha asked, why didn't that marriage last? And she talks about how her and her parents weren't really good examples for her because, she kind of compares it to Rocky and Latasha's relationship, where they weren't getting, they didn't seem like they were in love with each other or whatnot. And she says that her parents were like that. They were married, but her mama lived upstairs and her daddy lived in the basement, and they were never really intimate. But they were married out of convenience. And, they were just in the home with her and her siblings, I guess. And, it was just, they were married but unhappy. So she feels like that's what Latasha and Rocky are doing. But here's my thing. What do that got to do with you? I think that a lot of people see poor examples growing up, and instead of them doing the opposite of that, they end up doing it. And I'm like, if you really didn't like it that much, Why are you duplicating the behavior? I would think you would want to change the scenario, but it is what it is. So she said that her husband, still to this day takes care of her and the kids or whatever. He's a really good man. I don't know what happened with that relationship. They didn't really dive too much into it. But all I'm saying is, sis, I hope you ain't leave him for Rocky. That's what I hope you didn't do, because this situation right here, I don't know if you thought he was going to be a come up, so you left your husband, but you might want to go and work that out, sis. I'm just saying. But moving on. So then Tasha asked her about her jewelry. She basically was trying to ask if she was some type of sugar baby, like if Rocky was paying and buying her things. And she says, "Well, I never really asked for anything." Girl, and she was like, "I mean, but really you shouldn't have to ask." And I will say this. If you messing around with a married man and he's doing absolutely nothing for you but giving you dick, why? What are you getting out of this? Why are you even snitching on him at this point? Because my thing is, if all you came to the table for was some dick, you could have got some unattached dick all this time. And I know Rocky dick can't be that amazing that you up here ready to risk it all to be with this man. Because he definitely wasn't going to risk it all to be with you. Child, I don't know. But anyway, she said she brought her jewelry and jewelry her damn self. He ain't buy her jack. And judging from them cash apps that was going back and forth, where he was paying for flights for sis, and they was going on little trips, but he wasn't buying bags and shoes and all that, or paying no damn bills, I don't think. I don't know what they were doing, but she was mind effed by sir. So then she talks about being out in public with him, celebrities seeing them together. She talked about being in T.I.'s studio and they were fooling around. She met T.I. She met Candy, but she never met any of the other ladies from Escape. But she did meet T.I. She says that he wasn't hesitant to be all over her and stuff in front of people in public, and she just felt that he was genuine, and she was always patient with him, basically having to boost his ego because he was insecure. But she felt like his money was all tied in with Latasha, and she felt like all of his ambitions were not adding up when he tried to he said that he was going to she basically tried to boost his ego by saying, you keep talking about all these things that you can do and how amazing you are, and you create artists and all this stuff. Go back to what you're doing. All your stuff is tied up in your wife right now, but try to do some other things. So she talked about him going and allegedly trying to manage country artists, which he did talk about that in his little brief soliloquy that he did on the phone with Tasha K, talking about how amazing he is because he's been intertwined with the likes of Britney Spears and R. Kelly and Tamar Braxton and Michael Jackson. He's like, yeah, I really don't want to boost it up, but I shouldn't say this, but I'm really like an Olivia Pope, if you understand or catch my drift. Like, he out here fixing people's lives illegally behind the scenes. Child Rocky, who are you? You are nobody. Stop. And then he talks about how he done we're gonna mix this in, how he fixed all these people's careers and how he's managed artists, and he doing all this stuff with these country singers and stuff like that. If you were so amazing at creating talent and getting people deals, why is your wife just now getting a deal? Hmm? Why is she just now getting a deal? If you're so amazing, you have Rockland Records, right? This is according to you, out of your mouth. If this was you on the phone with Tasha K, because you might try to turn around and say it wasn't you. Who knows? I don't trust this man as far as I can throw him. Okay. But if you are such this powerful entertainment person, why is your wife just now getting a deal? You're so powerful. Why is your wife always hating on Candy? Why does she know Candy's repertoire much more than she knows her own? Hmm? She know every single thing Candy did in the last 5, 10 years with her career, and how she was there supporting her. I had her back. I was at the plays in the front row. Why you wasn't in the play? Hmm? Tamika was doing Tyler Perry plays. What were you doing? Then he tried to, we're going to go into how he tried to say, he tried to allege that Tamika was stealing Latosha's Thug Holiday royalties. Boy, you know you's a lie. Okay? I just cannot. I cannot. S White says, "Hello, Queens. Hello. Thank you for joining us. How you bees?" Ebony M says, "I've been thinking that Rocky may have promised her a record or a deal or something, and that's how he could first start talking to her." Oh, I agree. I think that too, for sure. Then she realized he was broke as a joke, but then she had already been mind effed, so it was just too late. It was too late. Exactly, Shay. Ebony M says he had the nerve to say that he signed Britney Spears. Britney Spears and Tasha is where in her solo career? Make it make sense, right? You want to talk about Tamar Braxton, right? Tamar was managed by her husband Vince. Now Vince actually did manage big name people. He managed Lady Gaga. And Tamar, remember on her show, was getting so jealous because she felt like he was putting more time into Lady Gaga, which, duh, that's why y'all have money, because she's actually successful. You are a monotonous brat, okay? And he has to babysit you, force you to do whatever you need to do as far as getting your career together. You thought that you was some prima donna, Tamar. So what are you talking about? So Vince, Tamar's ex-husband, actually did manage big name artists. So Rocky, if you were managing all these people and doing all these amazing things behind the scenes, you wouldn't actually be behind the scenes. We would know what you're doing. You ain't managed nobody. Or maybe he's saying that he was Olivia Poping their BS behind the scenes, trying to clean up their image. Sir, I don't bit more believe that than the man in the moon either, because you are having quite a time cleaning up your own. Okay. So you don't even know that on WhatsApp, when you change your number, if you don't change your number in WhatsApp, if you call from a new number, it's still going to come up as the old number. You didn't even know that. Tasha K had to tell you that. And you sounded real dumbfounded on the phone. Then he even tried to say, "Yeah, you know what? You should have called me for the little," telling Tasha K, "You should even call me about your little situation with Cardi B. I could have helped you out." First of all, let me stop you right here because you're lying. You didn't even know that she owed Cardi B $4 million. So how was you gonna help, sis? Do you have $4 to help her do anything? Child, Rocky, go to hell. Go to hell. Cause you talking a whole lot of yin yang, and it ain't nothing coming out. Okay. So she talks about, after they talk about, we go back to Unique. She talks about being out in public with him, this, that, and the third, how she tried to help boost his ego. He talked about how he wanted to help her and do all this, that, and the third. Then they go into how how she met him was because she was supposed to be managing his son. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Had to answer for my bestie because she be thinking I be ignoring her, child. But he originally started talking to Unique because she was supposed to be helping her son that sings. So the son that sings was supposed to be trying to get a career, and he was supposed to try to help fix that and go, but then that didn't happen, obviously. And so he ended up trying to pursue her. Okay. So then Tasha goes into talking about the cash apps and the tattoo, this big ass tattoo that she done got on her back for this man. And then she talks about the digital footprint out here that basically is undeniable and undeletable. Like, he tried to hurry up and get homegirl to delete all 5 years worth of text messages. And he was like, "Listen, you trust me, I trust you, go ahead and delete the messages right now." She was like, "I'm gonna do it," but she never did it. So Tasha K sitting there like this, recording all the messages from homegirl's phone. I'm talking, it was dick pics, coup de trois pics, all this up in there. Okay, all of that was up in the messages. Tasha K even showed a message of a D pic that he sent to another chick. She was like, "Hold on, I would never put these out in the public." Which, girl, we saw the damn dick pic through the lens. It wasn't fuzzy enough, but whatever. So he apparently was sending the same dick pics to the other chick he was messing with. So I think honestly, he was messing with this girl and all these other people, and she got mad because she felt like she wasn't the only side chick at this point. So once she started getting messages, she talked about how the other chicks was starting to message her and tell her, that he was messing with them too. And then the icing on the cake was when he tried to actually talk to one of her friends. She was like, "Damn, one of my friends though?" So I'm like, "Girl, never think you the only side chick. Please don't. Cause these niggas are trash. If they gonna cheat on their wife with you, their appetite is never satisfied. Monogamy is not in the cards for them at all. It's a lot of insecure men out here that they don't even know how to satisfy their own wife. So they in turn they try to make it seem like the wife is not really satisfying them. But in all actuality, they don't know how to problem solve. So they go out here and find whatever energy they're looking for in every Tom, Dick, and Harry they can find. Every Selena, Sam, and Cindy. Okay? And that's just what it is. Ebony M says that was such a dumb thing to say that he could make a phone call and make Tasha's legal troubles go away. Laughing, right? And didn't even know what the hell was going on. How you gonna make some legal troubles go away and you didn't even know what she was going through. He's such a dingleberry brain. I don't even know what's going on with him. Um, so moving on, she continues to go into how he's raw dogging all these chicks. She says he's had somebody from day one since they've been together. Like he's always had somebody else. He's never been he's never been faithful to her. And she said, he's effing with the right one because even though he tried to manipulate her and threaten her, she's not scared of him. So she says this is not a side chick situation. She was in a full-blown relationship. He gave her his account information. She was present for business meetings and all. So she didn't feel like a side chick. She says he has never been faithful to his wife. So then Tasha K ends up apologizing to homegirl and whatever. Okay, here's my thoughts on the interview. I feel like Tasha K really didn't ask her any real questions. I would have asked her, I would have started out because the interview was very jumbled up. It really was. Tasha allowed her to ramble on and on just a little bit too much for me. I feel like the interview should have been seamless, where it's like, okay, when did you realize that he wasn't going to leave her? Why did you think he was going to leave her? Does he get his money from? How do you know he even has any money? What did what were you expecting of this? What would have happened if you did have these children? How do you think that would have went on? Does Tasha know about you at all? Does Latasha know about you? In what situations did you know she knew about you? If so, like you need to go into all these different things. Like if you're going to interview her right. Because I think also they spent too much time on talking about this apology that she was so pressed to get from Tasha K. Who gives a fuck about about Tasha K apologizing to you? Don't nobody care. We want to get the meat and potatoes about this whole full-blown relationship you said you was in. Okay. Now, y'all, let's get into the Rocky and his lies, because Rocky you think you're slick. So he tried to call Tasha K basically, and I'm gonna sum this up for y'all because I've talked about some of it throughout the interview. He basically tried to call Tasha K and scare her because he knew that Tasha K had these legal troubles going on. So he tried to allude to saying, he says, "Oh, this case is federal. Oh, Shorty going to jail. Shorty going to jail." How's she going to jail for saying that y'all was together and y'all wasn't in your head? Or you trying to make us think y'all wasn't together? Boy, that ain't no damn federal case. You ain't Olivia Pope because you don't know the law. Okay, you don't know the law. this is not a federal case. So he tried to make it, he's basically, in my opinion, trying to make it seem like she said that in the interview. She said he's trying to make it seem like she was wanted a record deal and she's pissed that he didn't help her get a record deal. That's what he's trying to use. So he's been lying, and that's probably the little story that he done told Latasha to make it seem like, oh, she bitter because she's an artist that has a struggling career, whatever, and I was going to manage her, but I decided not to because she got a little too whatever and too caught up. No, no. You were messing with her, and that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to play these little games that nobody's thinking about that. No, nobody believes you. Yasmin says the receipts from the interview were convincing, but that phone call is truly what sealed his fate. Boom. He confirmed things his wife denied, what the mistress said, and things no one asked. A mess. Here's the biggest thing. He called her Tia Wanda. Gave homegirls whole government. And Tasha said, oh, well, that's interesting. I never knew her real name. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Period. Ebony M says, laughing my ass off federal charges. He talks so dumb. Right. Girl, he's a mess. Right, Shay? That's probably what he tells Tasha. He told Tasha K that she's obsessed. Homegirl is not obsessed with you, sir. Well, maybe she was at one point. I ain't gonna say that. Maybe she was, but clearly she don't give a damn now. Okay. So then after Tasha K says, well, that's funny. I never knew her real name. Thanks for telling me. Then she says she told him about the 5 years of text messages and how she recorded them. And he wanted her, how he wanted the girl to delete all the messages and how he was telling her he loved her, penis pics and all of that. So he says, well, you don't know me. And I can see why you would never, you would never know me because I wasn't really talked about in the streets. But I was, there to help Rob with all the stuff that was going on with him. And then he starts playing mind games saying he was talking to Tasha about, he wanted to call Tasha about some escape stuff and some drama that he knew about escape. He wasn't trying to really talk to her about the stuff that's going on with this chick because Shorty going to jail. That ain't nothing. You think that's a story. That ain't really nothing. I really just wanted to talk to you about this escape stuff and what's going on with that because I had some, because this whole situation is just laughable. It's just laughable. And I could have just gave you some tea about escape. This situation was unique. She just going to jail. I'm like, boy, go sit down. Go sit down. Okay. And he basically was just trying to say all of that because he's trying to scare Tasha K. Like, he's like, she already in the middle of some stuff. If I keep saying it's federal, she ain't going to say, you know what I mean? She's not going to want to get involved with it. And maybe he thought that was going to make her push this interview back. But Tasha K was like, listen, I need my money. You do now, about the Cardi B situation. I need my money. Okay. So I am going to put, what, matter of fact, I'm going to put this interview out right now. Okay. And I'm going to put your voice out there too, because I'm recording you. Okay. And honestly, I don't know if it's legal for her to have been televising, for the revolution to be televised when she was talking to him. I hope that doesn't bite her in the arse later, okay? But that's just Tasha K. She likes to get in the middle of a bunch of BS. I hope it helps, okay? I hope it helps her money-wise, because that just sounds like another bill coming to fruition, okay? Because he's a scammer. Anyway, he said she's a scammer, and her and her family always scamming people, talking about the unique girl. And, he said that she's stalking him and she messed up too many times. What do you mean she messed up too many times, sir? Okay. So then Tasha K asks about his involvement with R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, and Tamar Braxton. No, he tells she asked him about his involvement with R. Kelly. Then he talks about his involvement with R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Britney Spears, and Tamar Braxton, how he's behind the scenes with a lot of people, how he was Mr. Fix-It with people's careers, and how he had Rockland Records. He said he isn't a Tadina, basically throwing a dig at Todd, referencing some BBC interview that he did. First of all, BBC, sir, that is like, what? Who watches that? Isn't that like a British channel or something? Whatever, sir. And anyway, you know what? I'm so sick of people throwing shade at Todd. Todd is a very successful man, okay? And he married well. And so did Candy, if you ask me, because she has a man that always has her back and is not out here making her look stupid. You, on the other hand, are over here making Latasha look like a damn ventriloquist dummy on TV and making her look like a fool. How is your son going to look at you now? Hmm? Because he's 25 and very, I'm sure, very hip with the technology. So he's going to see right through all of your BS. Leave Todd Tucker alone. Please leave Mr. Tucker alone. Because Brother Tucker don't give up about any of this stuff that you're doing. Okay? Leave him out of it. And then he tried to say, Todd, he was like, yeah, because I got some other information about naked pics Tamika was allegedly sending to me, and Todd slobbing a tranny's D, and how Tamika and the money is wrong. He can't deposit, talking about he can't deposit money into his account, like he can't endorse somebody else's money. And he was then he talks about how Tamika and Tasha's money got mixed up over Thug Holiday, the song that Latasha did. He basically talks in circles saying, you know, people make money off of news. There's a reason he does what he does, because he's connected and it's laughable. And he's basically going back into talking about, he's like Olivia Pope, talking about connecting the dots. And then Tasha asked, how does he get paid? Then he said, well, I managed Jacquees. You know, I've been in the entertainment field for a long time. I worked with oil tycoons and billionaires over 30 years, but yet Todd. But I'm like, you work with all these people, oil tycoons. Why was y'all living with her mama? And yes, people may say, well, that was 9 years ago. Well, he said that he'd been doing all this stuff for 30 years. Why were y'all living with her mama? Her mother don't look like she was, you know, not healthy and needed some assistance. Why was y'all living with her mama? And why, again, why is Latasha just now getting a record deal? If you were so powerful in the last 30 years. Boy, go bye, brokey, bye. Sick of you. So she asked if he ever cheated, and if he said, you know, we can talk, but I'm not perfect. Okay, so you did. You are dancing, you're jabberwockying around the truth. Like, I cannot with him. Like, somebody like him, this is a very, going into Love and Marriage Huntsville. Someone talked about Mel earlier. This is Marceau 2.0. Jabberwockying around the damn truth. Doing the meanest two-step around the truth. Boy, go sit down somewhere. You ain't bit more. I don't bit more believe you've been around an oil tycoon than the man in the moon. Only oil you ever been around was the hair oil that Latasha put on her parts under her wig for her braids. Child, get out of here. Don't play. Don't nobody got time. Don't nobody got time. He says he could have easily went live and cleared all this up, and people are making him famous. He never wanted to be famous, but he is powerful. Okay? His power isn't going anywhere. He said they don't have an open relationship, him and Tasha. And he says she can see lots of text messages, but they aren't his. Talking about Unique can show all these text messages all day that she want to show, but they not his. And he said he's proven a point. People need to leave him alone. And he told her first. He alludes to being able to help her. That was when he started talking about the Cardi B situation. And then once he realized she owed $4 million, he piped the hell down because he don't know what he's talking about. Then Tasha talks about the tattoo, the Cash Apps conversations, and I love yous to Unique. And then Tasha talks about the digital footprint. We talked about all of that, where with WhatsApp, he tried to message homegirl basically and make it seem like, oh yeah, I know what's going on. He tried to pretend like he was somebody else. So he tried to pretend like he was somebody else, and he was saying that, yeah, I know what's going on with you and Rocky or whatever the case may be, and I can fix that and blah blah blah. Like, he was talking to her from his number And he didn't realize that the messages was still coming up as him. He was basically trying to mind F her behind the scenes. And she realized that it was him all along. So then they talk about, Unique talked about a time where they were in the truck together. They got in the truck, and TMZ and all these other people were calling him on the phone because when she did this whole thing about posting the sonogram and her saying that she was pregnant by him and all this, that, and the third, she took it down because he convinced her to do that, saying, oh, my page got hacked or whatever. So she has the messages of him basically coaxing her into doing that and coaching her throughout the process afterwards. Like he was literally there when she was doing these interviews and telling her what to say and all this, that, and the third. A real R. Kelly-ish type of situation where you got somebody in the background telling the chicks what to say. Very eerie and scary. That's what it's given to me. So she talked about a time where they were in the truck together and he was like, no, I'm telling you, this is going to work. He told her to say something. Um, that was when he told her to say that the page was hacked and all this, that, and the third, and that it was going to work. And she was like, I don't think that's going to work because people have seen us together. Like, she was like, people have seen us together out in public. Like, people know that we've had a connection. So she even recently, child, was on the internet on her Instagram page that she's getting many, many followers from now. Okay, because I told y'all in the beginning she had 1,000 something followers at first. Now homegirl got over 100,000 followers. So she's getting the attention that she obviously wanted to garner. Okay, and she put on there that, you know what? I think I'm his karma. I think I'm his karma for all of this. She's like, he's been doing this for so long and never got caught. But I feel like I'm his karma for all the stuff that he's been doing. And I'm like, girl, be that as it may, you being his karma or whatever the case may be, none of this trumps the fact that you are messing with somebody's husband. Period. I don't care how unhappy he looked. I don't care if she was putting rat poison in his dinner and he ain't like it. Okay. You shouldn't have been messing with him. Period. Now, do I put it on the mistress when the man steps out? No, I don't. Because the man is in that relationship and he decided to pursue her and try to be with her. However, you got to have some coof and control over your cootie cat and keep it to yourself. And that's just it is what it is. Okay. So at the end of this whole godforsaken interview, he tells Tasha that the whole situation with the kids is not true because he can't have any kids due to nature. Okay. Tasha asks, okay, well, have you had a vasectomy? And he says it's medical. And how the lady says she had 3 babies, but his wife Tasha was crying, saying she had 3 babies, wish I could have had another one. And how, they probably would have, he alluded to the fact that they would have loved to have another kid if that was the case. But so this woman is obviously lying. Maybe you should have got a vasectomy just to make sure, because the least you won't be doing is out here making babies with other women and not embarrassing her like this. This is just ridiculous. So y'all, that was the interview. I just feel like this whole situation, homegirl definitely wants to come up for her budding music career. I think that this is something that is getting her in the limelight because the Escape show is trending. The show is good. Okay, that show is very good. And I think this is just something to add to her trying to create a wedge between Latasha and Rocky. And I just hope that she learns after all of this that Rocky is just not a good person. He really just isn't. And Latasha she's going to continue to be manipulated from my viewpoint. In my opinion, she's going to continue to I think that she doesn't think that she can do anything without this man. And he is just a piss poor representation of her. He really is. I think that she would soar so far beyond in life if she would fix her ego and get rid of Rocky. Period. Because I've seen Escape out here doing the damn thing. The Escape 3, they having a good time. hugging and laughing and doing great things without you. So it makes me come to the conclusion that you're the problem. Period. Yasmin says he knew where the tattoo was before anyone said it. Yes, he did, Yasmin. He was like, "Oh yeah, she getting my name tattooed on her back. Really? That's a little deranged and crazy, if you ask me." Tasha ain't tell him where that tattoo was. This man just basically he tried to call Tasha to scare her and be a bully, like everybody said he is, to not put this interview up. And he really just took a giant foot and put it in his entire mouth for all this situation. Before he's not smart at all. Definitely not. Ebony M says some of these men should be ashamed. Tasha was raised by a manipulator and she married a manipulator. I feel bad for her. Yeah, and talking about Tasha being married to a manipulator and having a manipulator bring her up. I did see on I can't remember the channel, but I watched it because Make It Make Sense was in the interview. There was a panel, which I didn't really understand why a whole panel of people was interviewing one damn man. I thought that was a bit excessive. But anyway, I think that Mims, honestly, in my opinion, should have interviewed the man by himself, but whatever. There was a whole panel of people that interviewed Latasha and Tamika Scott's dad. Okay. So the dad really has a great relationship with Tamika and they get along. And I think that that's really where the mother doesn't like that. I think that Latasha doesn't have a relationship with the man from what I got from the interview because of the fact that the mother despises him or whatever. And so she, basically is in cahoots with her mother. The dad said he was there for everything. He was always there for them throughout life. The breakup of the marriage was mutual, I guess. They both moved on. He's been married for the last 12 years, 14 years, whatever the case may be. His grandchildren love him. And he said that this is just like the first time he's ever heard, because he doesn't watch the show, so he don't really know what's going on and a lot of stuff that's happening. He's not privy to a lot of this information. And I found it weird and odd that the dad has never been to any of their concerts because he said that he was never invited. But here's my thing: buy a ticket, Dad. Buy a ticket. Because I'm not going to never go to one of my daughters are superstars and I've never been to see them perform live. That's a little bit on you too, sir. Okay. But yeah, I just think that whole situation with the toxic mama is just strange and crazy. He didn't know about the whole money situation. It's just a lot that the dad is not privy to, but I think that he is, all in all, from the interview I got, that Tamika, he is her safe space. And I'm glad that she has that love, at least from one of her parents or whatever, because her mother is very trifling. Okay. And I don't care about her being dragged, because she need to get dragged some more. And hopefully it'll make her change her ways, because it's just really trifling how the mother treats the daughters and makes an obvious difference in the two of them. And I think the dad acknowledges that too. Um, but anyway, yeah, that panel, I just felt like it was a bit excessive to have all these people interviewing this man, especially for his first interview. But I will say I did like how the facilitator of the interview, she kind of controlled the questions and made people get to the point, because there were some people that were just rambling on and not really asking a question. It was like they were just telling him what was going on the show. And she was like, the facilitator was like, okay, let's get to the point. What was your actual question? So I do like the way she facilitated it for it to be so many damn people interviewing the man. But I would love to see somebody else interview him, but by themselves, without a live studio audience, if you will. But that's just that on that. But thank y'all so much for watching. Hold on, let's get into these comments. The Juice. Yes, that's what it was called. The Juice Show channel, something like that. Yeah, I want to make sure I give credit. I know it was The Juice something. Thank you so much, Ebony, for saying that. But yeah, Mims was on it. I'm pretty sure he'll probably have something, make it make sense. I love his channel. He's hilarious. Like, his intros are so weirdly funny. Okay. But he was on the panel, so that's what made me watch it. So it's called The Juice or something like that. PSR 076, Rocky ain't I really think Latasha would be far, but I think she's stuck, and those allegations won't make will make maybe outlive him, won't outlive him. Yeah, I definitely think that she could definitely be further than what she is if she wasn't hanging on to him or her ego at this point. She need to let both of them go because both of them are tearing her down. Ebony M says, LOL, I know it's only so many questions you can ask a dad about not being close to one of his daughters. Right. Like, I just don't get it. And then I didn't like how they kept on pushing about the child support and all this, that, and the third. Like the man wasn't financially there. He made it very clear that he was financially there for his children. So the mother was just mad that she was single again. That's all that was. But I mean, whatever. You like it, I love it. Please. I don't know. Ebony M says, yeah, him never being to a concert gave I'm old school and younger people have to kiss my ass. And it's not shade. Lots of older elders are like that. Yeah, like I know. Yeah, I agree with you. But I feel like yeah, those are your daughters. Your daughters are performing. Like they're superstars. Go see your kids perform. Like, but he, talks about having a good relationship with all of his children. And I really wish that they would have dived in more about their relationship with their siblings. So yeah, hopefully Mims can interview him by himself because I think that he probably would give a way better interview than that whole panel of people. Because some of those people, I was just like, y'all could have just not showed up. Why are y'all even on here? Because some of y'all don't even have nothing to damn say. But anyway, thank y'all for watching. Please, please, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video with anybody else that wants to know the tea and not pay that $12 for the Tasha K live interview. Okay. And I will be back later on to talk about Love and Marriage DC. Okay. Before the Escape show comes on. And I will also be live reviewing the Escape show tonight. All right. And if you watch Zatima, I will also be coming back tomorrow to do my reviews for episode 9 and 10 of season 1 for Zatima. Then I'm going to be doing my reviews for episodes 1 through 4 for Zatima. And then I'm going to catch up on my Real Housewives of New Jersey reviews. Y'all, they just been getting on my nerves with New Jersey. I ain't even going to lie. Because I really was thinking about whether I even wanted to continue to review that. Because that damn Danielle on that show. Girl, get your lips off of Teresa's ass. But that's another thing. But thank y'all for watching. And I so appreciate each and every viewer, each and every subscriber, each and every comment. I truly, truly appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Peace out.